Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive. This time we're looking into some truly fascinating creatures, the soft-shell turtles.
Absolutely.
And wow, looking at all this research you sent me, I mean, I knew a bit about soft shells, but it seems
Mm,
like there's so much more to them than meets the eye.
yeah, you're in for a treat. They're truly unique, even among turtles.
I believe it. Okay, well, first things first, got to talk about that shell, Rip.
Oh, absolutely. The soft shell, or carapace, as it's technically known, is what sets these guys apart.
It's like, how is it even a turtle? It doesn't have a hard shell.
Right. Well, it is a shell, but instead of being that solid, bony structure you see in most turtles, theirs is made primarily of cartilage.
So it's more flexible.
Exactly, much more flexible. And it's covered with a leathery skin instead of those hard plates, or scutes.
Wow, so they traded protection for what, more agility?
Exactly. Think about it. That soft shell makes them incredibly maneuverable. They can squeeze into tight spaces, burrow into sand with amazing speed, and swim with a grace that hard-shelled turtles just can't match.
Huh. Like, almost like a fish. So agile, they almost need that to survive in their watery environments.
Absolutely, that flexibility is a huge advantage in rivers and lakes.
I bet. And speaking of variety, there seems to be a ton of different soft-shell species out there.
Oh yeah, they're found all over the world, Asia, North America, Africa, and they come in a surprising range of sizes.
Yeah, I was reading about the smooth soft-shell, a pretty small species, it seems.
Yep, often blends right in with their surroundings. Olive-colored, kind of camouflaged.
But then on the other end of the spectrum, there's the giant soft-shell. I mean, 6 feet long.
It's hard to even imagine a turtle that big until you see one.
No kidding. That would be awe-inspiring, but also, like, slightly terrifying.
Uh-huh, I can see that. But they're not all giants, of course. That variation in size and appearance is just one of the things that makes soft-shell turtles so fascinating.
For sure, and it all ties back to their lifestyle and the environments they live in, right?
Exactly. Each species has evolved unique adaptations to thrive in its particular niche.
Makes sense. Now, I was reading about their diet, and I'll admit I was kind of surprised. They're not the peaceful herbivores I initially pictured.
Nope. Soft-shell turtles are carnivores through and through.
Really? So, what are they eating? I mean, with that soft shell, it's not like they can go cracking open clams, right?
You're right, no clam cracking for these guys. They're more ambush predators. Think fish, insects, crustaceans, sometimes even amphibians or mollusks.
Huh. So they lie in wait and then bam.
Pretty much. They often bury themselves in the sand or mud with only their eyes and nostrils poking out when an unsuspecting prey comes along.
Snap! Dinner time.
You got it. They're incredibly fast strikers.
I bet. And they can stay underwater for a surprisingly long time, too, right? To
They-
wait for the right moment.
Oh yeah, that's another one of their remarkable adaptations. They have this unique ability to absorb oxygen not just through their lungs, but also through their skin and throat lining.
Wait, they can breathe through their skin? That's crazy.
It's pretty wild, right? It allows them to stay submerged much longer than a typical turtle, which is obviously a huge advantage for hunting and avoiding predators.
Like a built-in scuba tank. Wow, these turtles are just full of surprises.
They really are. It's like they've got a secret weapon for every challenge.
Now I'm even more curious to dig deeper into their world. But that soft shell, though it seems like a superpower, I wonder if it also leaves them more vulnerable.
It does, yeah. While a soft shell is great for agility, it doesn't offer the same level of protection as a hard shell, especially for younger turtles.
Yeah, that makes sense. They're probably pretty vulnerable to predators, huh?
Oh, definitely.
Mhm.
Raccoons, birds of prey, larger fish, even other turtles sometimes.
Oh, wow, even their own kind.
Happens, yeah. Especially when resources are scarce.
It's a tough world out there, it seems. And looking through these articles, it seems like they're facing a whole bunch of threats, not just predators.
Sadly, that's true. Habitat loss is a big one, probably the biggest.
Yeah, I was reading about that. Wetlands being drained, rivers being dammed.
Exactly, there's a prime softshell habitat. And as those habitats shrink, well, so do the turtles.
And I imagine their reliance on camouflage makes them even more susceptible, right? If their environment changes too drastically.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They've evolved to blend in with their surroundings, but if those surroundings disappear, they become much more exposed.
That's a good point. And then there's pollution too, right?
Yeah, big problem. Pesticides, oticides, industrial runoff,
Yeah.
all that stuff contaminates the water and impacts the entire ecosystem.
And softshell turtles, being at the top of the food chain, they're probably absorbing a lot of those toxins.
You got it. It affects their health, their ability to reproduce, everything.
That's heartbreaking. And then there's the whole issue of overfishing too, right? Depleting their food sources.
Yep, that's another one. And in some places, they're actually hunted for their meat and eggs.
Really? I had no idea.
Yeah, it's sad but true. In some cultures, they're considered a delicacy.
It's amazing how these incredible creatures that have survived for millions of years are now facing all these human-caused threats.
It really is.
Yeah.
And it highlights just how interconnected we are with the natural world. What we do affects everything, even these seemingly resilient turtles.
One article mentioned a species, the Yangtze giant soft-shell turtle. That's in a particularly dire situation.
Oh yeah, the Yangtze giant softshell. Critically endangered, sadly.
Yeah, only a few individuals left in the wild.
It's a tragic story, really. Habitat loss, pollution, hunting, all those pressures have taken their toll.
It's a stark reminder of what we stand to lose. But I gotta ask, amidst all this bleak news, is there any hope? Are there efforts underway to protect these turtles?
Absolutely, there is hope. There are a lot of dedicated people and organizations working tirelessly to conserve soft-shell turtles.
Oh, that's good to hear. What kind of efforts are we talking about?
Well, habitat protection is crucial. Establishing protected areas, restoring wetlands, that kind of thing.
So giving them space to thrive, basically.
Exactly. And addressing those other threats, too. Reducing pollution, cracking down on illegal hunting and trade.
So it's a multi-pronged approach, attacking the problem from all sides.
That's the only way to make real progress. And it requires collaboration. Governments, scientists, conservation groups, local communities, everyone working together.
That's inspiring to hear. But what about us, regular folks? Can we do anything to help?
Absolutely. Spreading awareness is huge.
Yeah.
The more people know about soft-shell turtles and the challenges they face, the more support there will be for conservation efforts.
So talk about them, share what we've learned today, get the word out.
Exactly. And be mindful of our own environmental footprint, reducing our plastic use, making sustainable choices, supporting eco-friendly businesses. All those things help.
Yeah, it's all connected, right? Protecting the environment ultimately protects these amazing creatures.
Couldn't have said it better myself. We're all part of this web of life, and every action we take has consequences.
It's a powerful reminder that we have a responsibility to care for our planet and all its inhabitants.
I agree. And sometimes I wonder if these turtles could talk. What stories would they tell us about the changes they've witnessed in their watery world?
What a thought. I imagine those stories would be a mix of beauty and sadness. Tales of a time when rivers flowed freely and wetlands teemed with life, but also tales of loss and struggle as human encroachment changed their world.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
But maybe also tales of resilience, of adaptation, of finding a way to survive even in the face of adversity.
It's inspiring, their ability to persist despite all the challenges they face. Makes you want to fight for their future even harder.
Yeah, absolutely. And it reminds us that we have a lot to learn from these ancient creatures.
For sure. So we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive. I mean, we've only just scratched the surface, right?
Oh, yeah, there's so much more to learn about soft-shell turtles. Whole lifetimes of research could be dedicated to them.
No kidding. So for our listener out there who's now completely fascinated by these turtles, what would you suggest? Where should they go from here?
Well, I'd say the best place to start is right in your own backyard, so to speak.
Oh, you mean like literally?
Yeah, actually.
Eh.
You might be surprised. A lot of places have soft-shell turtles living in nearby ponds, rivers, lakes.
Huh. I wouldn't have thought of that. Just go out and explore.
Exactly. Spend some time observing, see what you can find. And of course, always be respectful, observe from a distance.
Right. We don't want to disturb them in their natural habitat.
For sure. And if you want to learn more, there are tons of resources out there. Websites, books, documentaries.
Oh, yeah. Those conservation organizations probably have a ton of info. Right?
Oh, yeah, definitely. The IUCN, the Turtle Conservancy, those are great places to start.
Okay, perfect. And I imagine for the really hardcore enthusiasts, there's got to be some seriously in-depth research out there, too.
Absolutely. Scientific journals, research papers.
Yeah.
You can really dive deep into the nitty-gritty details.
I love that. Something for everyone, from the casual observer to the dedicated scientist.
It's a testament to how fascinating these turtles are. They capture our imagination.
They really do. So as we wrap up this deep dive, what's the one thing you really hope our listener will take away from all of this?
I guess it would be to appreciate that every creature, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant, plays a vital role in the web of life.
And that includes us, right? We're all connected.
Exactly. And soft-shell turtles, with their unique adaptations and their ancient lineage, they're a perfect example of that interconnectedness.
They remind us that we have a responsibility to protect not just the big charismatic animals, but all species, big and small.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Conservation is a collective effort. It takes all of us.
Absolutely. So, to our listener, thanks for joining us on this journey into the world of softshell turtles. We hope you've been inspired to learn more and maybe even take some action to help protect these amazing creatures.
Yeah, keep exploring, keep learning, keep asking questions, and who knows, maybe you'll make some amazing discoveries of your own out there.
Until next time.